Going for a 4-4-2.
He didn't know what was going on in the room.
Phyllis managed to refrain from swearing.
He said, if you've got a problem with me, let's sort it out in the gym.
He's exactly the same with our lot. The thing is...
Oh, come on! Come on! Where has that come from?
Yeah.
They brought through the door. You know, you look at the...
What a performance, the guys...
That we brought up quite stupid things like that.
Live from Soucek at the supporters club. Right.
But he was getting a bit tired, I thought.
Come on! Here we go! Come on!
Come on! Yeah! Go! I don't know if you guys are doing this, but I'm trying to pinch myself. Am I asleep? Am I waking up? Yes, you have just witnessed West Ham beat Crystal Palace at Selhurst Park 3-2 away from home. But that's not the end of it, lads. This is the end of it. We are sitting fourth in the league. 35 points after 20 games. Welcome back to West Ham United. I'm Anton, joined by Richard Dawson, Stato Man Matt, and the only ITK that's out there. Still. Lads, wow, Richard, you've not been on a match day live, but I know you've been watching the game, mate. Talk to me.
So proud. Another fantastic performance. It really should have been 6 or 7, and I'm not even exaggerating. I think you guys can all agree with me. But, you know, we've gone to Selhurst Park where we lost last season. They did the double over us. But there just seems to be such great momentum in the squad right now. And going into this game, I expected us to win it. You know, there's that confidence there. Everyone seems to know what their job is. And it was an excellent team performance. Honestly, 3-2 flat as Palace. It should have been 6-2, honestly. And I think they had 2 chances and scored both of them. We had 18 attempts on goal, 9 on target. So I'm very proud of the boys. We deserved it. And long may it continue.
Yeah, absolutely.
The only downer, mate, is that they scored 2 goals.
Yeah.
You know, that's the downer.
I'm going to bring on, just for the start there, what Richard just said there. You can see their Crystal Palace possession was 54%. To West Ham's 46%. There was 6. What's that noise in the background? Someone printing something off?
Yeah, sorry, that's me.
That's all right. I was like, I can hear the printer going. Crystal Palace had 6 shots to West Ham 17. They had 3 on target to West Ham 7. So yeah, and then as we move further down, as you can see, West Ham sitting 4th. We're 35 points to Crystal Palace's 23 points. I mean, lads, it's a bit crazy, really, isn't it? Still,
it's like I said earlier. I'm really lost for words. Absolutely lost for words that we are in the position that we're in. Pleasantly so, and like we said in the match, in the watch along, I've seen West Ham at their best and I've seen West Ham at their worst, and I've got to be honest. This is the best I've seen West Ham. It's even better than, as Matt and I were saying, it's even better than the last season at the Bowen. It's as good as. It's beginning to be as good as 85. Now that's saying something.
Listen, I mean, we're going to go into the game in a minute, but there's no ifs or buts about it. Moyes has absolutely changed the mindset of, well, he's definitely changed the mindset of me as a fan. I mean, we do these videos week in and week out. We talk about what our predictions are, etc. I come into all the reviews and I'm just like, another result. And we're going into the games and I'm not, you know, like today, for example, doing the match day live, we went 1-0 down very quickly. And some fans can slip into the old way of thinking.
Oh, here we go, West Ham, and all that.
But we composed ourselves and came back at them, and it was a whole new ball game. And that's a lot of plaudits down to David Moyes, the backroom staff, the transfers that have been brought into the club that have really, really, really made a difference. Matt, you were doing a match day live. Talk to me about the starting lineup, mate, and then we've got another guest coming in as well.
We spoke about it in the preview, and I got it right. There was only the one change from the previous game. Fornals came back in for Lanzini. I thought he had a really good game, to be honest.
Yeah.
I think he would have affected the game more. I don't think he'd had the same sort of performance from Lanzini as you got from Fornals. Apart from that, it was as is, which is we said for a while. Me and you've done all these previews, and we were like, we can't pick what team Moyes is going to pick. And we're saying, is it going to be this player, this formation? At the moment, Moyes seems to have found his starting 11 now. He's sort of settled on a team. It is Fabianski.
Yeah. Well, that's funny you say that, though, because in actual fact, we went through a while there of saying, and I will bring you on in the background, don't worry. We did say for a while, though, that we were getting to that point where we were unsure what he was going to choose, and like you're saying, he's choosing the starting 11. But you're starting to feel like there is other options there. We don't have a lot of strength and depth, but we've got players that can step into the position. Now, Lanzini stepped in. We still won the game. We still turned out and put another performance in there. I mean, we sometimes jump the gun, Richard, don't we, when we see the team lineups? I mean, even when you think of Sebastian Haller, when he was at the club and he's gone now, we still were knocking out performances when he was playing on the park. What is it? It must be the mentality that Moyes is putting into that starting 11, isn't it? Yeah, no matter what starting 11 it is.
Yeah, no, I think he's instilled a sense of belief in the players. And he just demands so much of them. Every single player on that pitch knows they have to give 110%. Else Moyes is ruthless, He's that type of character. Even when Benrahma came off, Moyes didn't seem to be too chuffed with how he played. He's really ruthless like that. And I think it just brings out the best in every single player on our side. And to be honest with you, I thought Antonio was excellent tonight. Obviously, he missed his chances, but his hold-up play better than Sebastian Haller by 10,000 miles. So I'm delighted to see the back of Seb. Honestly, Antonio and him are chalk and cheese, really.
Yeah, absolutely. Sean, welcome back to the stream. Hope you're well. What's your thoughts? How are you feeling? Are you excited? Are you buzzing?
We're gonna win the league. We're gonna win the league. And now you're gonna believe us. And now you're gonna believe us. You're gonna believe us. We're gonna win the league.
Oh, dear.
I love it. There you go.
Love it, Sean. Love it, mate. Listen,
top four. I've been emailing and WhatsApping and pinging all my Liverpool and Spurs and Chelsea and Arsenal. Well, Arsenal were just nowhere, but it's great. It might be short-lived, but there's something special. 6 games we've won in January. 6 out of 6. If David Moyes does not win Manager of the Month, I've just done my ratings for Clarendon Hugh. If David Moyes does not win Manager of the Month, then the bloody thing is fixed.
Well, we know it's fixed. We know it's always fixed.
Well, they let Sam Allardyce win it once. Come on.
Listen, let's get on to the... Yeah, absolutely, mate. Let's get into the game. We've talked about the change that was made at the start of the game. Fornals came in for Lanzini. We go on to Crystal Palace. Richard, we can't deny remotely that there was an attacking threat there when you look at all the starting lineups. But when you think about the first minute into the game, what happened? West Ham dropped their heads and allowed Zaha to do what he does?
Yeah, I thought Benteke had a good role to play in Zaha's goal. There's some neat interchange in and around the box, and it's a really good finish into the bottom corner. So, when that goal went in, we could have easily panicked. But even watching the game, I was surprisingly calm when that goal went in. We tend to like conceding goals first and getting back into games. I worry when we score early goals, then we seem to shut off. But in this case, we came back extremely well. And other than that shot on target, Zaha was quiet. He moaned all game. He was in our back pockets. And I think we nullified their threat really well. Eze had 1 or 2 instances where he got in behind. But other than that, Palace were really, really poor. And they were lucky to get 2 goals, on the face of play.
Yeah, absolutely. And Sean, listen, I don't know if you heard us at the start there, but we're saying that, but a couple, even last year, if we go 1-0 down, we're sitting here thinking, right, oh no, here we go again. Where's the next goal coming from? But there's a strong will.
Was it?
It wasn't.
Usually we get shocked by an early goal. I did think Fabianski could have done better. I know a lot of people will say he was unsighted, and I thought he could have done better on the last goal as well. But he made an amazing save at an important time during the game. But yeah, you're right. I mean, we didn't, not too long. And Mr. Potato Salad himself comes in. I mean, defensive midfielder, right? defensive midfielder. He scored 7 goals. When's the last time we had a defensive midfielder? Some of our strikers haven't scored 7 goals. In fact, I can remember one year where the biggest tally, I think it was Kevin Noland who won goal scorer of the year with 7 goals. And there's Soucek halfway through the season scoring 7 goals from a defensive midfielder.
Unreal.
He's in my dream team. He's just amazing. And
it actually is.
My ratings. I gave him a 10.
Yeah, Matt. There's no ifs or buts about it. We've said it week in, week out, video per video. The Soucek signing has been a transformation signing, really, for West Ham. Could you put it down to that?
Not entirely, but there is a massive impact that he's had on the team. Obviously, not even including the goals he scores. It's the fact that we've been crying out for fresh legs in that midfield. I like no, but when I think he's been a terrific servant for this club. But he's been in that first team for 14, 15 years. And he just hasn't got the legs to do it anymore. And we needed a box-to-box player. We've been saying it for about 3 years. We needed a box-to-box player to play alongside Declan Rice. And as soon as they found one, it's transformed the team. Now, admittedly, I don't know if they knew he was going to do as much going forward as they did when they were first looking for one. But we all knew when he first came in. You looked at the stats he had when he played for Prague last year, and he scored. He was playing whole midfielder there, and he was scoring double figures regularly. And he is almost unmarkable at times. Yeah. It's not just his height, because the height doesn't just make the difference. It's the way he attacks balls.
He's a good player.
To that
clever player.
He's just fucking everywhere, isn't he? He's just everywhere.
Yeah. But he's got intelligence.
I think the trick now is going to be that we keep hold of him. Because the better he gets, the more other teams are going to be sniffing around him.
And but this will determine this season and the way that West Ham are playing, and if we keep continuing to do what we do and stay up there and try and do something, that's going to hold on to players. If we're sitting there fighting a relegation battle, players don't want to be part of that, especially of Soucek's quality, and especially Declan Rice. But all joking aside, if we can genuinely grind out more results and keep pushing up and do what's the song that Sean sang from the start.
Champions League, look, Champions League, here we come.
Yeah, we even if we just challenge for that top 6 spot, why would a player want to leave at that moment? But listen, Thomas Soucek's goal, it was all created from Mr. Pablo Fornals. His creativity starting to show back again, Richard, isn't it? He chips the ball forward to Antonio. It goes onto the byline. Antonio chips it back for a Thomas Soucek bullet header into the back of the net. 9 minutes gone, 1 each. Talk to me about Pablo Fornals, Rich.
Yeah, look, he's been solid for quite some time now, and I think he's got a bit of unfair stick at times. But he works so hard, and tonight that ball that he played for Antonio outside of the foot, absolute worldie of a ball in behind. Antonio did exceptionally well to get to the byline and stick it across for Soucek. But I think Fornals is someone that David Moyes likes a lot because he works really hard. He's willing to get back. He's willing to put in the hard graft. And going forward, he's got some fantastic touches as well. There's times where guys will ping in the ball into his feet, and his first touch is exceptional. So massive credit to him. He's obviously been working really hard, and the results are showing. So I've been delighted with Pablo the last couple of weeks.
Absolutely, mate. But listen, it didn't stop there, though, did it? Still 25 minutes in, and Creswell with an absolute beautiful ball into the box. That man again, Thomas Soucek, Mr. Potato Salad, collects the ball on his thigh, stops the ball dead on the byline.
The control was superb, because he could have easily been unsighted, because Antonio went to head it, and that might have even put Soucek off. But he kept his eye on the ball. And we thought for a split second, it's going to be given for one of those handballs, touch the sleeve of his arm or whatever. But no, a brilliant control and brilliant goal. And people keep saying that Moyes has found his new Fellaini. For me, Soucek is 100 times better than Fellaini ever was as a footballer.
Yeah. You struggle to even put them in the same sentence, to be honest.
Yeah, he has found a player. It's what Matt said, and it's what we've all been crying out for. We've been crying out for another central midfielder to play alongside Declan for quite a number of years. It goes back. We even mentioned it goes back to the Carvalho that when we trying to sign Carvalho. Was that during the Bilic days? Was it Bilic that wanted him, or yeah?
Yeah,
and
the
so that's
email
Village,
saga.
yeah, that was 5 years ago, and we finally got a player who has slotted in not only to this team but into the Premier League at ease, and as Sean said, scoring goals for fun. You know, how many big teams are going to be going after him? You know, at the end of this season, he's amazing. Brilliant goal.
Sean, I want to talk to you in the first half. You know, Benrahma's starting. Benrahma's growing into the game. He's growing in each performance. And I'm going to bring up this little image here with some stats of his game. He's got 57 touches, 85% pass accuracy, 8 ball recoveries, 3 chances created, 17 final third passes, 3 successful take-ons, and 2 tackles. Talk to me, Sean, about Benrahma.
He had one of his best games, I thought. You know, I know David Moyes has criticised him and sort of said he gives the ball away too easily, and he's got that sort of tag now among fans. I didn't see that tonight. I thought he contributed a lot. I think he needs that first goal to give him a bit of confidence. It's a shame he didn't come tonight, but, you know, we could have won 7 or something. I mean, Antonio hit the post twice. He's done everything but score a goal, and I think he's getting better and better. So I think he's going to be a great permanent signing when we finally put it to bed.
And you've just brought me on perfect timing, Sean. Come on, what have you got for us? Have you got anything, any little snippet? Is it going to be...
Hang on a minute.
My One Football app.
Have you really?
I haven't mentioned it.
Your sponsors. Sean, are you talking about this company?
One Football have teamed up with West Ham Lions United in sponsoring our channel for the Matchday Live videos, our Highlights in Words review videos, and the West Ham Week.
Enough of that.
I always use One Football. The only problem is I had a delay today from my stream. And One Football, I had to turn it on silent because it kept on popping up.
Yeah, they do. They're really good.
Towards the end of the game, it's great.
I just want to pick you up on this comment by this young lad, Mr. Canning Town Len. Sean's always moaning about Benrahma.
That's not true. I think Benrahma is going to be a great player for us. You know, we've got an obligation to buy. And I know it's been said it's been done today. It hasn't been done today. As I said earlier, if you missed it, Brentford, no one's told Brentford yet. But he will be signed. So great. You know, I think he's going to be a great addition. Once he gets that first goal, I think he's going to bang them in as well.
I agree with you. I totally agree.
His pressing tonight was really impressive. It's the most I've seen him hound defenders, and he was excellent.
He was so effective. He was so effective in his tracking back, and that's, you know, I've brought the stats up, and you know, you can the stats read for themselves. He tracked back. He was an all-round player tonight. You can see his confidence is growing by being first and foremost selected for the side.
Yeah,
having consistency in team selection, and then having other players around him who think similar. And this is where I'm going to give a lot of plaudits to Fornals. He's really starting to come out of his shell again and start to show his creativity. Even though he's still been giving us legs and covering so much ground, his creative side is coming back out. Yeah.
Formation. Here's my question though, Anton. Where does Jesse Lingard fit in? If Fornals is playing in a form he is, Benrahma's playing in the form he is, where does Jesse Lingard fit in without sitting on the bench?
Well, I'll be brutally honest with you guys very quickly. On my opinion on that is that we're going to need squad rotation.
Champions League. You're right. Yeah.
We're gonna need squad rotation. You know, Stel, me and you were done a transfer video this morning. We were talking about the fixtures we've got coming up, and we've got about 5 games in the next 16 days, something like that. So, you know, we're going to be very lucky to get through that without picking up either foremost a suspension or an injury.
I think league aside, we're going for the cup this season, and I think I can see, is Lingard cup tied or not? Can anyone tell me? Because if he's not cup tied,
he is cup tied. He wouldn't be able to play anyway if he's on loan.
Right. Okay. Well, there goes that theory out the window then. Well, it'll be a good sub to bring on with maybe 15, 20 minutes to go, because he won't start, not ahead of any of these guys at the moment. Can't see it. Yeah. And I did mention earlier that with Lingard coming in, and if he becomes permanent, I could possibly see Lanzini go at the end of the season. I know that didn't sound very popular, but if Lingard comes in, I can see him being Lanzini's replacement. We'll sell Lanzini at the end of the season. That's the only thing I can think of, Sean, because I can't see any other reason for bringing him in. Unless, of course, people have said he's played up front as well. So unless, of course, he's used as a false number 9.
Hello, David? No, I don't think you need to sign anyone. No. Not after that performance. No, save your money. No, you don't need to. Supporters will be fine. Honestly, trust me. Yes, gotta go. I'm on a stream at the moment. Bye. Sorry, guys.
Richard, talk to me about this man, Mr. Craig Dawson, mate.
Oh, rock solid once again tonight. Fantastic header for the goal, and honestly, it's looking to be one of the best loan signings we've got in a very, very long time. I mean, I didn't expect him to hit the form and heights that he has, but that experience is shining through, and him and Oggy together seem to have just really built a proper fortress at the back. And as I said, he's popping in with goals now, so I'm so delighted for him, and he's adding so much to the squad, so it's fantastic.
Yeah, I mean, he really is. He's been brought in to do a job, and do you know what? He's keeping out our in-form other defender, Balbuena. And really, do you know what? We go on about the potential signing of Tarkowski back in the last transfer window, 30+ million apparently, etc. But I mean, Craig Dawson, I mean, what a find. And here's the difference between what West Ham are doing now compared to the West Ham in the past. West Ham are bringing in players that we need fitting the jigsaw pieces together. Doesn't matter their value, doesn't matter their price. If they can offer something to this setup and this team, that's what West Ham are going to do. Matt, talk to me about Craig Dawson, mate.
I think almost all the West Ham fans have been proven wrong, haven't they? We all said, or a lot of them said, why is he coming in? Even I said he'd probably come in as like 4th choice backup. But to be fair, I mean, look, he had 1 season at Watford, and before that he had 6-7 seasons at West Brom. And for a large part, he was part of a very good West Brom defence. They built for years in the Premier League on, being tight at the back and nicking 1 or 2 goals. And Johnny Evans got the big move off of it to Leicester from West Brom, and he got off to Watford. And we all thought Watford were awful last year, couldn't defend. Clearly, he wasn't part of the problem. He's come in and he's made that place his own. We all said, why did he come in? Was it the Everton or Southampton game he come into first? But in Southampton game, and we were like, why is he playing? Why is he not playing Diop? But as Rich said, the partnership he's got with Ogbonna now, you can't drop him.
No.
Like he's and not just that, he's getting goals. He's contributing goals, which.
What did you see? And the commentator said this: the way he jumped up for that goal today. The commentator said, I don't know, I wasn't watching BT, I was watching Bowen or whatever it's called, but because I couldn't do with a commentator on BT Sport. He jumped up and he just wanted it more than anyone else. The way he launched himself at that ball, that's the passion he has, and that's the kind of person we always look for to wear the badge, because it means something to him.
Leads me.
Sean, are you telling me you don't listen to our commentary during the game? Are you actually telling me that, Sean?
I would rather. No, I'm not going to say that. I'm not into watch-a-thons. I'm on record for that.
This is not a watch-along, though.
It brings me on to a question, Sean. The question I'm going to ask you, mate. Given that Dawson is playing out of his skin, and given that Balbuena is now 3rd choice, where does that leave is a Diop in this squad?
It goes nowhere, Stel. Stel, you
he's trying to find a story, isn't he? He's trying to find a story.
Right,
He's trying to get a story.
Stel, there was a story, right? I'm not going to say who said it, but it was about that Diop was going out on loan, right?
Yeah.
Right? It was not true. So I went to my senior source and I said, what's going on? He said, I promise you, the manager wants 4 quality centre-backs. He rates Diop. He sees him as the future. He needs 4 centre-backs. He's not going to give one. He says, Reed's legs are shot, right? We're letting him train with us.
I hope you didn't hear that, Anton. Are you feeling all right, Anton? You've broken Anton's heart.
Sorry.
But break 4 centre-backs, Diop is the manager rates him. The manager will not sanction a loan or a sale or anything else. So unless he brings in another centre-back to replace Diop, Diop's not going anywhere. And you can do all the videos you want, Stel, about him going to Liverpool and everything else, but it ain't gonna happen.
Sean, you've hit the nail on the head there, because Stel is all about clickbait. And that's all he's trying to do. He's clickbaited out his nut, mate.
You're talking to the clickbait king.
Anyway, we'll remove the clickbait king over there. He's just gone out of the chat.
Yeah.
But listen, like you said, Craig Dawson, he rose to the occasion, and he flew up in the sky.
He did,
and he
didn't
smashed that. He did, yeah. He smashed that into the back of the net, and that made West Ham go up 3-1. We were talking about it in the game. We were talking about trying to kill off the game, and that really did kill off the game. But another player I want to talk about, Richard, Antonio. I think I mentioned there about 17 attempts at goal. I think 14 of them came from Antonio.
Yeah, I'm gutted for him because I'm sure he's extremely frustrated. He has really high expectations, and he's, I'm sure, quite harsh on himself. He would have expected to put those away tonight, and I think on another day he could have had a hat-trick, as you've mentioned. But genuinely, his hold-up play was really, really good tonight. He got other players into the game. I thought he was solid once again, and it just showed how much we've been missing him up top when Seb was playing. He just gives us a completely different dynamic, and if we can keep him fit, we've got every chance of really competing this season for European spots.
Yeah,
I reckon Allaire would have scored 3 of those 4 chances.
He would have slipped. He would have slipped and not even hit the ball.
I think most of the players are about 10 grand a goal, so that's a lot of potato salad for Soucek tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. We were trying to see the game out. We did have several chances in the rest of the game, and unfortunately, and I think it was like the 96th or 97th minute, 7th minute, that man Batshuayi turned up and got a goal, a consolation to make it 3-2 to West Ham. But we've walked away with the 3 points. Sean, give me your kind of overview of the whole thing, the whole game.
I don't think anyone disappointed. As I said, I've just finished doing the ratings, and I'm pretty harsh. And I gave out 10s, 9s, 8s, and a few 7s to people that really didn't stand out in the game for me, but did a bloody good job. It was a good all-round performance. It was one of the best performances I've seen all season. I never felt nervous, even at 2-1. I just didn't feel nervous. Some games you feel nervous. I thought we were destined to win it. As soon as we went 2-1 up, I just thought this is going to be our night. I was brave enough to start posting a live table of us in 4th. I just didn't think we'd be turned over. And I just think, I'm pinching myself. As a West Ham fan,
we all are.
Put up with a lot of shit. And I'm just so happy. I want to live the moment. We're living the dream as West Ham fans. Let's just enjoy it. Let's not look at any negatives or any, we haven't signed a striker or whatever. Let's just live the dream for a little bit longer. We're top 4, guys. We're 4th in the Premier League. Amazing. COVID is brilliant. No fans. We don't want fans back again.
Do you reckon that's a good excuse for the board not to bring any players in this winter?
No. Look, the manager said...
I'm playing devil's advocate, please.
He said...
He's trying to get stories again.
The board are backing me. Look, it's a marriage made in heaven, right? Because Dave treats it like his own money. He treats it like, those transfer funds. And I know that it's a really harsh word of divvying Dave, but Dave doesn't want to make the same mistake he did with Jordan Hugill, right? He doesn't want to buy another Allaire. He wants to make sure that he's got if he buys a striker, it's someone that fits his system. If he buys a midfielder, it's someone who fits the system. If he buys a left back, it's someone who fits the system. He doesn't rate the January transfer window, and that's why we're looking at possibly 2 short-term loans coming in the next 4 to 5 days, and not permanent signings. And you know what? He seems to be completely relaxed. If we don't sign anyone, I don't think he's too bothered. And our squad is a little bit threadbare. But, in Moyes we trust is my last word on that.
But also, look at the squad right now. Look at these lads.
Yeah, they're loving it, aren't they?
They're loving it, and they're together. Look at Benrahma's face.
Yeah. Well, you can't buy that.
You've got God Bonner right in the middle there, who is leading this team to glory.
Absolutely. Look at that. Look at it.
Hammer of the year.
But the other thing you want
He
to
is,
talk
he
about,
is,
the,
Sean, he is.
the other thing you want to
Absolutely.
talk about, the other thing you want to talk about there is the, you know, look at the embracing of Dawson as well. I love it. I absolutely love it. It's brilliant. But listen, another man that goes under the radar, but it's just it doesn't really go under the radar. He's just so popular. Declan Rice. He's here, he's there, and he's everywhere. I mean, we are
Before you
so
do
fortunate.
that, have a look at that comment. 6 more points and we're safe. Then I can relax.
We're
That's
on
West
5,
Ham.
isn't it? We're on 35.
now.
So
Yeah, we're
35,
35.
yeah.
We're safe.
I think
We're safe.
Do you know what? I could tell you we couldn't win another game. We'd still be safe on 35 points
Probably.
this season.
Yeah, probably.
We're probably.
I don't think the
already
bottom three will get over 32. I promise you now.
I agree.
Yeah, I think it's got the potential to be that season. But listen,
it's gonna
Declan
be
Rice,
low.
Richard, Declan Rice, mate, he's everywhere, isn't he? He is just next level.
Rolls Royce of a footballer, solid as a rock again tonight. I thought his tackling was exceptional. The way he dispossessed a number of their players tonight, it was so effortless for him. He makes it look so easy. And he was our leader on the pitch, and he was excellent. Honestly, he's a driving force in our midfield. Him and Soucek right now are probably one of the most informed centre midfield pairings in the league. And he just can't put a foot wrong. You know, the last couple of games he might not have been as influential as we would have hoped, but tonight he was solid again.
He put he did put a foot wrong though tonight, didn't he? He made one mistake. He gave away the ball, and where Fabianski had to make a save. So
good point.
I know that's a little bit harsh, but he did make a mistake.
No, that's a good point. It's a good point.
Yeah,
but we
But
allow
hard to
him
mark
that one
him down.
mistake in 100
We allow him
games.
one mistake.
Yeah. I think a player that was quiet today was Bowen. Someone asked, what did we think of Bowen? He had a very quiet night, but he was still effective. You know, he's a player I like, a player that always gets subbed, but he was a bit subdued today. Is that because we were playing the ball more towards the likes of Fornals and Benrahma, and Bowen wasn't seeing as much of the game as he usually does? But for me, he was quiet, but not in a bad way. I don't know what you guys think.
Yeah. He kept his record up as being the most subbed off player in the Premier League, didn't he, by being subbed off? I don't know what to make of Bowen, because we know that he can score goals and do a lot of, the build-up play. And yet, sometimes he just, I don't know, that he's a bit anonymous or he gets subbed off. And I can't quite work it out why he's the most subbed off player. I'm a big fan of his, but you're right. He was a little bit anonymous tonight. He was just overshadowed by everybody else. But
I think, but sometimes there's not a problem with that. If all the other team turn up on the occasion, you want that. You want players. Whatever, even if he's quiet, he's always a constant threat. It doesn't matter if he doesn't do a huge amount in the game. He always can offer you something. So if he draws players away and allows, I don't even know what that noise is. Is that you, Matt? You look like you're up to something.
He's eating Chris.
What, me, mate?
I think there are times when I think like tonight, Bowen being subbed, I could understand it because I didn't think he had one of his better games. But I think when he's been playing really well, he's been subbed, and that's what's confused me.
I think there's been a few substitutions though still that have come really late on when we're up, and you can dismiss those substitutions as such, but when we're needing a goal and then there's 10 minutes to go and you bring Bowen off, they're the ones I disagree with, because he is a threat. He can offer something,
I want to go.
All right.
Go on, mate. While I look for this question.
I was going to say, Richard, what's your thoughts on Bowen?
Yeah, look, he's really exciting, and sometimes I get a bit frustrated with him because I find that he gets into really good areas, and sometimes his final pass or his decision making lets him down. But he is still extremely young, and he gives us something really, really different going forward. That pace that we've maybe lacked a few seasons back on both wings.
Yeah.
So. Yeah, I think he's been good for us. He just needs to brush up on that final ball and that final decision that he has to make. But he's young, and I have every faith he'll only get better.
And yet he scored 5 goals for us already this season. So.
And before we jump into the comments quickly, David Moyes stated 4 games ago, I want 4 out of 4. He got.
Well, we want 5 out of 5.
He did, and that. Let me tell you, Anton, because I do all the press conferences. And that was when he was asked, "Are you going to sign any transfers?" And he said, "No, I'm only focused on winning 4 games out of 4 in January, and not transfers. That's where my focus is." Well done. He can be forgiven.
Yep.
There's an interesting question here that I think we can all answer. Do you prefer this team now or the 15-16 Bilic squad? I know my answer straight away. What do you guys think?
I'm going to jump in there quickly. I mean, there's no ifs or buts about it. You can never forget what the season with Payet. You will never forget that.
Yeah.
The entertaining element of that season, because we scored and conceded. We conceded nearly 60 goals that season alone. But this season, we've only conceded 22, and we're at the halfway point. So this is more of a professional actually West Ham turning point season. And that's where I get excited. So that's where I'm at. This has got the potential to really trump it.
If Nigel Khan was on, do you know what he'd say?
Go on. Goals
It's not
are fun.
results business, it's an entertainment business. And I think there was more entertainment under Bilic, if I'm honest, than Payet. He says, if it's just a results business, I'll tell you what happened at the end of the season. Which I get the point. Winning is great for us, but we're not always doing it in the most entertaining way. You know, some of our wins have been very hard fought or very narrow, and I guess that's the difference. So if you're talking and saying, he's saying, do you prefer the team? If you're looking for entertainment, then probably Bilic's team is more entertaining.
True.
The point, I guess.
Matt, 15-16 or this season?
I'm actually really torn on this. Because, like you said, you've seen the performance tonight, and that was a fantastic performance. So if we can build on that for the rest of the season, it can definitely compete against it. But like you said, if you're just going for the, I want as many goals as possible, I want to be entertained, you'd pick the 15-16 season, because that was, like you said, we must have seen, 120, 130 goals that season. Because I think we scored as many as we conceded. We still had a positive goal difference that year. So we could score as many as we conceded.
Rich,
I'm actually torn down the middle. I can't decide.
Yeah, I'm gonna have to wait until the end of the season and see how we finish. It all depends on how we finish. If we can continue the momentum, then definitely decide. But there's still a long way to go, so I'm going to keep my feet on the ground for now. I'm going
to go for this season, and only because we've been getting better and better in terms of the way we play. And I think now that we are comfortable in the league, we're going to get even more. I think Moyes going to allow the team to come off. Let them off a leash a bit. And I think without Payet in the 15-16 season, I don't think it would have been as well. We know it wouldn't have been as great as this. The reason why I think this is better is because the whole team's playing really well. Sometimes we find it really hard to pick a man of the match because we're actually saying the whole team has played
Every
great.
player is turning up and doing a job.
Yeah.
Do you know what? It's funny. There was a comment there about Leicester City. Leicester survived relegation, then won the league, had no better team than we have now. I remember going back to the Leicester City season. Other teams were underperforming, allowing teams to overperform and get better points. I think they won the league on one of the lowest points tally you can get. They had a very fortunate season with injuries. I kept looking at that season going, Leicester were sitting in the top 4 by Christmas, and several times throughout that time I was going, nah, surely not, they're going to slip. Are we as West Ham fans expecting West Ham to slip up, or is it because we've got no pressure?
Yeah, we are.
We are. Come on.
We are, yeah.
Of course we are. Yeah.
We are. That's why everyone is saying the same thing. I'm pinching myself because we're kind of waiting for that bubble to burst. And the longer it goes on, the more, like you said, Richard, I think if we get to the end of March and we're still in the top 6, I think I really will be pinching myself, because then we are looking at Europe. We really are. Definitely. And I know Moyes has played it down and said, it's too early for Europe, etc. But just like you said, Anton, if Leicester went from relegation battle to winning the league, I'm not suggesting we'll win it, but why not? Get comfortably into Europe this season. Why not?
Yep, absolutely.
GSB
you want to go
promised
for the
Champions
comments?
League, just a little late, but better late than never. I mean, they're vindicated, aren't they, Sean? The board?
Yeah, absolutely. Just to answer the previous question. GSB in.
Oh, Jesus.
Look, the previous question is offer Rice and Dawson a contract. Rice has been offered a contract, by the way, new contract. He hasn't signed it as yet. I don't think he's in any hurry. He's got a long contract already.
Any reason why not, there, Sean? And is there a story there that you're going to write in Clarence and Hugh about?
Here we go. Here we go. Look at Sean. Look at this next comment.
Yeah, I know. Look, I think. Look, this. I think Declan Rice is living the dream. He's our captain. You know, you can see what it means to him. But at one time in his career, he's going to want to go somewhere else, right? So I just think he's going to keep his options open. He listens to his advisors, and he won't sign the contract. Maybe he wants a little bit more. Who knows? But he's in no hurry, and the board are in no hurry. He's got a long contract already. Yes, Frank Lampard wanted him, but Frank Lampard is no more. And there's no other. There's been no bids. There's been no inquiries. We all know Frank Lampard won him, but Frank Lampard's gone. He's in the history books. So I don't see any natural person, as David Moyes said himself, it will take a Bank of England amount of money. I don't see anyone else coming up with 100 million and going, we'll pay you 100 million for Declan Rice.
Surely it's going to be more than that now, isn't it, Sean? I mean, they'd have to pay 130 million for him, wouldn't they?
150 for Soucek, you know? Our team is worth £1 billion.
Well, you know,
£1 billion.
Richard.
Go on.
Richard, I was just going to say there on that comment, Antonio needs an England call-up. Has he got a chance?
Oh, it's so difficult because there's so much talent up top. You know, he's scored so many goals, though. I'd love it for him.
His hamstring won't last the league, let alone an England call-up, for God's sake.
Yeah.
Now, they don't want hamstrings strings made of cheese, so...
Matt, this comment here, Horns.
Absolutely agree.
The scoreline flattered Palace, didn't it?
Yeah, it did. Because I mean, Rich said earlier about we had 9 shots on target in the game. Well, don't forget that doesn't include the times we hit the post because that doesn't count as on target.
Yeah.
So we had 9 shots on target plus we hit the post twice. I mean, Antonio could have scored 4 goals tonight. Probably should have scored at least 3. You know.
See, we need a striker. I mean, we just can't rely on these. You know,
it could have been 6 or 7, and that wouldn't have been.
If that was Allaire tonight, if Allaire had missed 4 chances, he would have been absolutely annihilated in social media.
No, fair play. Antonio's all-round play was still good tonight. The finishing, not so much, but his all-round play was still class. His hold-up play, bringing other players into the game. Seb's given us none of that, and his finishing's been woeful. So, yeah.
Yeah, well.
What was Luke on about, Anton? As soon as it went 3-2, it blew up. Probably about 5 seconds after the goal went in.
I mean,
said, my bum went after 3-2. I mean, literally, it was the 97th minute. They got to the centre circle, they kicked the ball, and he blew full time. So,
yeah,
consolation goal, nothing more.
I like this. The board have petitioned the government to lock down till 2045.
It's those pesky fans that cause West Ham all their trouble. Those pesky fans.
So, any latest to close off? Any latest transfer news there, Sean? Who have we signed?
We've signed no one. We've signed Frederick Alves, right?
Yeah, we know about that. Alves, not Alves. He's not an
Alves, whatever. Like you know.
Is that it?
We haven't signed anyone else. You know, the left back that we're supposed to be signing, I don't think so. Someone spoke to his agent and said, news to me. And
he wasn't
the most reliable.
For a medical.
Well, that's what Football Insider said. Look, I don't mean to be horrible about Football Insider, but they know shit, right?
That's all in the nose, though, isn't it? Or is it only certain ones?
Don't get me started. There is something in Jesse Lingard. There is something in Jesse Lingard, but it's not done. You know, everybody likes to say it's a bit further done than it is, including Sky, but it's not far as long as it is. There's a good chance of that happening. The South Korean, I think there's a chance that could come off. He will get a work permit, I think, you know, and the amount of shirts we'd sell in South Korea would be a real big bonus for the shop as well.
It would save COVID, wouldn't it? It would save all that COVID.
So I think that could pay for the loan signing loan. But you know, I think you're not going to see any more than that. 1 to 2 loans before the window shuts.
Yeah.
I'll have nothing to talk about on Sunday
and no
night,
one
Sean.
outbound. No one outbound, including. Listen to this.
Diop.
Come closer. Diop is not going anywhere.
Listen. Listen, still, if you want to dig for stories, mate, you send Sean separate text messages.
He does all the time.
I know you do. Sean, you can curse me for even remotely introducing you to this guy. I apologise.
Yeah.
Listen, before we close off for the night, I'm going to go round. Richard, sum up the game tonight and your man of the match.
A game in which we dominated and unfortunately conceded 2 scrappy goals that kind of shaded everyone's opinion of the game, but we were far superior, and my man Soucek was excellent tonight, man of the match.
Yep, absolutely. Matt?
The scoreline
You're right,
Palace, I think. Yeah, I just clocked on to what just has happened, and I don't think Anton's clocked onto it either.
What have I done? What did I fall for? What have I fell for? Just tell me. Come on.
The pronunciation. I think it was the pronunciation of the Asian player.
Oh, the South Korean. What?
Yeah.
Oh,
Still just got it.
Did I do that? Did I say that? No, I didn't say it. I thought it was Still.
One of the two of you done it.
Me, mate.
It was you, Still, mate. It was you.
Trust me. I saw it and I laughed about 10 minutes ago and thought, who's going to actually say that name?
I did
and
not
you
say
ended
that.
up doing it. Yeah. Huang King. Anyway, go on, sum up this.
Right, yeah. 3-2 flat at Palace, let's be honest. They didn't deserve to be anywhere near that scoreline. Probably best performance we've had this season, to be fair, even including the 3-0 at less than a 4-0 at Wolves. Mate, it's dizzy times for West Ham. It is dizzy times. Everyone's got nosebleeds right now.
Yep, absolutely. Sean, same question to you, mate.
Well, I'm not going to be the same. I like to be different. I think, obviously Soucek was the man on the match on the pitch, and followed by Dawson. But do you know what? I'm going to give it to David Moyes because he's masterminded. He's masterminded 6 wins out of 6, and he gets my man of the match. And I just want to enjoy the moment. I just want to celebrate, brag, wind up other rival fans. That's how I'm going to celebrate tonight.
Still,
great game. I'm in agreement with Matt. I think the scoreline flattered them. I don't think they should have got 2 goals. But it doesn't really matter. We're on a winning streak, 6 out of 6. I think we'll continue that on Sunday against Liverpool. We'll beat Liverpool on Sunday with this the performances that we're putting in. And Soucek, what a player! All over the pitch tonight and scoring 2 goals. What more can you say?
Absolutely fantastic. Sean, we asked everyone in the chat before we go in the Matchday Live, why do they tune in to West Ham Irons United? Sean, why do you tune in to West Ham Irons United?
He doesn't unless he gets invited.
I look at it. I wait just so I can see. My favourite is the app, the One Football. My favourite part of the show because it's my favourite app, so I always tune in to watch the advert of One Football.
Listen, that's been our Highlights and Words review show. I'm on tonight, which means I've controlled the time limit. You're not going to be wasted on your night because Stell's in control. Anyway,
you've gone up to 50 minutes for a review.
Subscribe to the channel, hit the thumbs up, keep the comments coming in. Any last words, lad?
Yeah, he's gone now, so that's better.
Come on, you Irons!
Come on, you Irons!
What's going on here? Listen, like I said, thank you very much for tuning in. Before we head, make sure you check out the video.
One Football have teamed up with West Ham Irons United in sponsoring our channel for the Matchday Live video.
That's enough.
One Football have teamed up with West Ham.
No, I can't do it.
Do you want me to do the advert?
Sean.
Oh,
yes.
Why don't you do an advert I'll do the advert for One Football. I'm a proper customer. There's no passion there.
There's nothing, mate. Nothing.
Hey, there's
He'll be
nothing.
all right on the nights, Dale. You need some acting classes, mate.
I was under duress, mate. I was under pressure to do one. I was like, there you go, freestyle. That's what it was all about. I was in chains at the time in the dungeon, forced to do the advert.
Oh man!
I'll tell you what. Let's get Sean to do an ad for us. Why not? Good idea.
Absolutely. Anyway, thanks very much for tuning in. This has been West Ham Man United. West Ham are 4th in the league and we're on the Champions League March. Subscribe, like, comment, all that malarkey. I've been Anton, Stel, Matt, Sean, Richard. Come on, you Irons.